What in the world is going on here? I'll tell you what's going on. We're about to learn how to play the mandolin in any key that you want to. That's what the title of this course is learn to play in any key. And this is a second lesson in that course. This one is called Expand Your Territory. If you haven't watched the first one that's called Find Your Bearings, then you need to go watch that because we're going to build on that lesson. Now, what you just heard in the lesson preview was me playing a bunch of pentatonic licks over various keys. There wasn't a real musical point to that other than to show you that it's possible to tackle any key you want with the tools that I'm going to give you today. I'm so very excited about this. So if you're watching somewhere besides banjobenclark.com, I'd be honored to have you on board. If you're already here as a Gold Pick member, you've got everything you need right here on this page. We're going to dive into more pentatonic scale licks. We're going to work more on playing them in other keys. We're actually going to practice together using rhythm tracks in various keys. Speaking of those, they're also on this page, so you want to download those. Let's get going. Today is Expand Your Territory. That does mean that we're going to build on what we learned last time in Find Your Bearings. But there are also a couple other courses and lessons that I'd like for you to check out. One is called Unlocking the Mandolin Neck. It's an entire course. And I'm going to refer to some things that we learned there in this lesson, so you want to go check that out. There's another one called Introduction to Pentatonic Scales, and you want to check that out because we're using the pentatonic scale today, but I'm not going to cover a lot of the theory that's happening within a pentatonic scale because it's already been taught. We're just kind of using that as our fodder for these exercises that we're doing. Now, today we're going to jam a lot together. I got my little Bluetooth speaker back here, and we're going to play over some progressions today to make it actually applicable and to show you how to use this. A little bit of review before we get into the new stuff. Let's look at that one major pentatonic or one octave pentatonic scale that we worked on last time. Let's use the G. So we're going to find a G note right here, and we're going to play up that major pentatonic scale. And it's 5 notes up and then the same 5 notes back down. Now, that only uses 2 strings, and we'd be a little bit hampered if that's all that we had to use. Thankfully, the mandolin has 4 sets of strings, so that's what today is all about, is expand your territory. The first place that I want to look to expand is to go lower in the register. So what I want to do is look to the string that's lower, and are there any pentatonic scale notes on that string that I can grab to add to my territory here? And of course, there is. So if we continue to go down, we're going to find 2 more pentatonic scale notes on the 7th and 9th frets. Okay, those are the same notes as up here. So we're not adding any actual new notes. We're just playing 2 of the notes that we've already played an octave lower. So we're just kind of getting a head start. If we play up that scale, starting on those low notes, it sounds like this. And of course, we can move that around anywhere we want. So that would be a G major, but if we're wanting to find our 4 and our 5, which you should already know how to do, I'm not going to go through all that, then we could jump up to our 4 or our 5. Okay, in just a moment, I'm going to give you a lick that uses that territory, and then we're going to apply that over chord progressions. But first, I want to look also at expanding our territory to the north. Okay, higher. Let's climb up the mountain. We're going to use that first string to grab whatever pentatonic scale notes are available on it without having to move positions as of now. And if we do that, we see that we're going to kind of discover a little pattern here because we have 3 notes on our first string that are in the pentatonic scale. Those are the same notes that we find right here. They're just an octave higher. So if we add all of that together, starting measure 9, it sounds like this. Okay, so we have our entire G major pentatonic scale that we're used to. It's just when we get to the top of it, we're going to keep going and then back down. Okay, so these are just quarter note scale runs, but I want to put these in practice. So here's what we're going to do. I have my little speaker back there. We're going to play through a G progression, through a C, through a D progression, and we're going to practice just doing these quarter note runs. Okay, so what you'll need to do first, because I'm not going to use tab with this, I want to use your eyes and I want to use your brain and your fingers. We're going to approach this a little bit differently. I want you to learn those extra notes. So you should already know your major pentatonic. So all you got to do is throw 2 notes on the bottom of that. and then 3 notes on the top of that, which are easy because it's the same pattern. Okay, so in the next video, let's play through these using actual chords.